Now that the images are imported into Lightroom 5, we need to begin the process of sorting the images. Now I use two different tools for my main sorting. One is the pick flag and the other is the star rating. The first thing I'm going to do after I import the images into Lightroom is add a pick flag to the pictures that I would consider keepers. The first thing I'm going to do is select the first image in the series by double-clicking on it to open it in the loop view. As I mentioned before, you can also press the E key on the keyboard to open this loop view. Second thing I'm going to do is hold the Shift key and press Tab to hide all my panels and the film strip and the module picker. So now I have my image front and center, as much real estate on the screen as I can take up. So in order to add a pick flag, I'm going to press the P as in pick flag on the keyboard. I can also press X to add a reject flag, or I can press the U key to unflag if I add a flag and would decide to change it later. I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard to go from one picture to the next, and I'm simply going to hold my finger over the P key and add a pick flag. Okay, then I go to the next picture, go on to the next one, add a pick flag here. So you can see how quickly this goes. Again, if I have to talk myself into it, it's not going to be a pick. This is not necessarily going to be a real life sort, but just so you can see how this process goes and how easy it is. Once I get to the end of the images, I'm going to press the G key to go back to the grid view. Once we're back in the grid view, you can easily see which images we applied a pick flag to by the white flag in the corner of the preview. I'm going to press Shift Tab to bring my tools back, and we'll take the next step in our sorting. Now I mentioned the library filter bar earlier. I'm going to click on Attribute here. And you can see here we've got flags, we've got ratings, we've got color labels, and even file types here. I'm going to click on the pick flag here. So now Lightroom is only going to show me the images in this particular folder that I've applied a pick flag to. So you can see that's much easier than going through the whole folder full of images and looking for the little white flag. I'm using Lightroom to help me do that automatically. So that's pretty easy, right? To use the library filters to find your flagged photos inside of your folders. But there are several clicks involved in that. You have to click on the folder, then you have to click on the library filter, click on the flag, and then Lightroom will sort your pictures for you. So there's a much easier way, and I'm going to show you two easier ways using the collections panel. The first thing I'm going to do is, while I have all these images highlighted using the library filters, I'm going to hit Command A or Control A on the PC to select all of the images. While I have these images selected, I'm going to go to this little plus button in the collections panel, and I'm going to create a collection. Now collections are only inside of Lightroom. This is basically metadata. A collection is just within the database in the Lightroom catalog. I'm going to name this collection Class Pics, and I'm going to check the Include Selected Photos box and hit Create. Now I have all of my pics in this collection. So I can go through the 21 images in the entire folder if I want to, but if I want to have access to the pics really quickly, I can go down here to my collection, and there they all are. That works pretty well. It's pretty easy, but it does have one limitation. Let's say I decide that this image is not actually going to have a pick flag. Okay, so I take the pick flag off. I can do that one of two ways. I can either click on the flag, or I can press the U key on the keyboard to unflag the picture. Notice that my Class Pics collection still contains this picture even though I took the flag off of it. So I have to remember to double click on this image and remove from the collection. Okay, so that's fine. And at the end of the day, that's not a big deal, right? That's not exactly hard. Let me show you how to use the Lightroom database to automatically keep up with changes like that. And I'm going to do that using a different kind of a collection. I'm going to again hit the plus button in the collections panel. And I'm going to create a smart collection. Now I'm going to call this Class Smart. And now you can see here we have rules. Match all of the following rules. So the first rule I'm going to add is that the pick flag is flagged. Okay, now if I leave this as the only rule, then any image inside of the Lightroom catalog that has a pick flag on it will automatically be collected into this collection. So we don't necessarily want that because down the road I want to keep up all my images from my different folders separate. So I'm going to hit the plus button here to add another rule. In this case, for my second rule, I'm going to add the folder contains, and I'm going to add my serial number. This is another reason I use a 4-digit serial number and not something longer for my file names, because this folder, there's only going to be one folder in my catalog that is called 1346 Lightroom class. I don't have to have the whole Lightroom class part because I can simply put 1346. There's not going to be another 1346 folder in my catalog. So now you can see that Lightroom is automatically going to take images with a pick flag that are in the folder 1346 and add them into this collection. So I'm going to hit create, and now I have the same 7 images in this smart collection as I did in the regular collection. Now what's the difference? One difference visually is that the smart collection has this little cog next to it to denote that it is a smart collection, whereas the regular collection doesn't have that. But here's the big advantage of a smart collection. Let's say I want to go through my folder again and I decide, you know what, I really want to add a pick flag to this image. Okay, so I'm just going to click here and add a flag to it, right? Notice my regular dumb collection still has 7 images in it, but my smart collection automatically added that image when I added a pick flag to it because it's going by the rules. It's not going by changes that I've made, it's going by the rules that I've told it to use. So in this case, the 1346 folder with the pick flag, everything automatically gets put in here. So if I change my mind and I take that flag away, then it comes out of that smart collection. So I'm using the power of the Lightroom database to keep up with my images and keep up with the changes that I make on the fly.